Am I live? Am I live? Can you guys hear me? Am I live? I know there's kind of a delay. Hi. Hi, guys. How is everyone? Okay, I never do this. I never go live on my channel. And I was like, it's Friday night. And I thought, I'm going to just come on here and say hi to everyone. It's been such a busy week. And I don't get to interact with my subscribers very much. I kind of gave up live streaming a long time ago. And I've never been very good at this. And I'm not super good at StreamYard. I had to remind myself how to do StreamYard. Oh, thank you, Crystal. I had to remind myself how to do StreamYard. I didn't even know how to get in here anymore. Oh, you guys are so cute. Look at you guys. Oh, hi. Hi, honeys. Hello. I never go live ever. Why did I think today was Saturday? I don't know. I'm never live. Hi, guys. I am here. I'm so happy to see you guys. I have the chat at 45 seconds slow mode. I wasn't sure how many people were going to come on, and it looks like I only have one moderator. Scarlett is the mod on tap for the night. And it also looks like I have it at subscribers only. So if you are going to join into chat, you have to be a subscriber. And I'm definitely not coming on to talk about any YouTube drama or anything like that. I was feeling a little bit disconnected from my audience because I have been doing this. I've been putting out such polished content for such a long time. And I was thinking back when I used to have this channel, way back, part of what I loved about my channel was the cool interaction that I would get with my subscribers. And I haven't had that in a long time. And I was like, sometimes I'll go live on my Instagram, but lately on Instagram, it's been even harder because for whatever reason, my Instagram has been getting botted and what do you call it? I've been getting bots, when someone is spamming you. It was, yeah, I used to go live. Yeah, it wasn't my intros. You're right. But yeah, I changed things up a couple years ago, and yeah. So you wish Sister Wives would be blocked soon. Well, would be dropped soon. I can't control what TLC does. Thank you for not doing religious sermons anymore. Oh, well, that was mostly when I was covering the Duggars. But okay, when I'm not covering the Duggars. Yeah. So everyone, if you could like and share, and if you want to be here, if you want to. I didn't really have an agenda. I was just thinking about the past couple weeks. I have been feeling very down, and I was like, you know what? It's been a really emotional few weeks, and maybe if I just came on here and just connected with you guys and reminded myself why I like to do this, and remind myself why I do what I do, and not listening to the outside noise. I had this awesome conversation today with Kristen Decker. And so I don't know if I told you guys, but so Kristen Decker is the author of 50 Years in Polygamy. And she was 50 years of polygamy. And so I'm just so excited because I had a good conversation with her today. And she just reminded me that there's so many people that love me and support me and care about me, and that I'm just a unique person. And hold on one second, you guys. Yeah. So I was thinking about how she was just like gave me sort of this pep talk. And then I was talking to this other person that does advocacy work for helping people come out of polygamy. And they were explaining to me like how challenging their job is, because when you're going up against like an organization that wants to keep people inside, there's a lot of resistance when you try to help those people. And so they kind of reminded me that it might feel like you have a lot of people that are coming at you, but it's just a distraction and a deflection to sort of like take you away from what your goal is. And if you can ultimately help people with what you're doing, that's what you should focus on. So that was what I was like. I was having like motivating talks today to like keep myself focused. And I don't know if you guys have people in your life that you can share with when you're feeling down or you're feeling frustrated, but someone that's been super involved in my life for like 4 years, that's been such an inspiration to me, has been Kristen Decker. And oddly enough, I met her through my coverage of Sister Wives. And it's not members only. This is actually a public video. Beautiful victory. Yeah. So I was just like, okay. And so I was starting to think about just like when you have like your channel has been built on sort of exposing the truth that people don't want to see, you end up getting a lot of people that don't want you to show what you're revealing, right? And I was thinking, because this channel has enabled me the ability to have so many survivors from so many different groups. And I was remembering that this space has become a really awesome space for the people that have survived. And I go through my comments every day and I see so many of you talk and leave comments about your experiences and what you've gone through and how you overcame so much and how hard it was for you to get out of whatever it was, whatever group it was in. And it's been very eye-opening to have more and more members, specifically from the polygamous groups, participate in the conversations in my comment section. And it's been really, I think, helpful, because I'm noticing that a lot of my people that are commenting are actually noticing that, oh, this person is actually from this group. And so I'm seeing this like empowering way that some of these survivors are actually able to use like my platform to help educate other people that have questions and answer questions for me. It's been really neat. I have a follower named Ellen. That's like a pseudonym, but she's from the AUB. And it's been really awesome to watch her sort of come into her own. And on every video I do about the Sister Wives, she's like in comments and she's answering people's questions about the group, and she's helping people sort of dispel, the truth from the error that happens from Sister Wives. And it's been, I know for her, it's been cool because she's been able to like be seen for the first time. Someone had asked me, why do you talk so much about the Sister Wives, and why, like, can you just move on from the Brown family? And it's been hard because I don't want to just talk about the Browns. And I hope you guys see that in every single video. What I'm trying to do is show you what's actually happening in the group that isn't being seen on the show. And there's a lot of stuff that's been on the show that's really been misleading and continues to be extremely misleading to audiences. And to people. So one of the big topics that have been sort of in the ongoing conversations that I've been having with survivors is this question about, did sister wives actually cause like people within the group harm? Did it cause survivors harm? Has it been harmful and harder for people to, um, from the AUB to feel validated in the experiences that they've had? And a resounding like comment I get from nearly everyone that's like grown up there that has left has said that sister wives has negatively impacted their ability to be taken seriously about what's actually happening inside the group, because it's glamorized and sort of made it look like sexy when it's not, and that it's glamorized and glossed over all of the bad stuff, and they're not showing any of the reality of what is actually happening in the families. And so when uh, this stuff has been when this stuff has been when they come up against that, it's challenging because they will share their experience. They will say something like, well, in the group, this is what's happening. And people will not believe them. And I think one of the biggest things that I've seen just in my own, with my own eyes, because one thing that was super unique was that last year, a former member, she said, I disagree somewhat. I don't think it's, when it comes to someone saying, I don't know if you're disagreeing with it's harmed people, because I'm not going to disagree with people that have told me it's harmed them. I'm never going to disagree with someone that survived to say that the show actually caused them harm. And I do think that decriminalizing polygamy causes harm. And I think that anytime subjugation of women becomes normalized, and there's a patriarchal misbalance, like when there's a power imbalance and coercion that is drawing the women into these groups, and the show is making it popular, it's causing real harm to people. And so I don't know if you're saying that you disagree with me that it's causing harm, but I'm never going to say a subscriber or a follower or someone from this group actually said it harmed them, because I'm going to believe them. I know people that were on the show that were treated very terribly. I know that, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but back in the very first season, they were being introduced to the masses, and they were doing one of their first photo shoots. And one of their, they had stylists that came in. Frozen? What? It's not Frozen. I'm not frozen. Okay, whatever. Okay. I'm going to delete that comment. I'm talking about the AUB, and I'm talking about the patriarchal cult of the Apostolic United Brethren. I'm not speaking about polyamory. I'm not speaking about non-religious polygamy. I am speaking about the Apostolic United Brethren. And disagreeing with the facts, I guess you can disagree with the facts. But anyways, back to what I was saying. This is why I have a hard time with lives, because then I'll see the chat and then I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Back in the very first season, they had a team that came in to get them prepared for a photo shoot with People magazine. And one of the people that came in was a woman that was from the local area, and she was like a hairstylist. And I'm not frozen. I don't, why do people keep saying this? Yeah, I'm not frozen. If you guys are freezing, it's not me. So, Yeah, this is the problem. I'm not frozen. Anyways, I know I'm so nervous. So, anyways, when the woman that came in, she said that she was hired to do their hair and to do their makeup and to help with their styling. And they had never had stylists before. They were actually like not doing like financially, they were not doing super well. And so it was really a first that the women were like getting access to someone coming in to do their hair and makeup. And they had someone that helped them pick out outfits. And then they had people that did the makeups and people that did the hair. And so the woman was saying that she helped all the ladies get their hair and makeup done. And then she said that it was very like different the way Kody treated Robin than the way that he treated the other women. And I was like, well, can you please explain that to me? And so what she said was that Kody is very on the show, he plays like he's this very pious man that is only with women for the purpose of his faith. But every single person that I've talked to that's interacted with him, either having to work as a part on the show, like, so if they're doing something with an organization, I've talked to different companies that have interacted with Kody as a part of that. Or if it's women that have met him at gun shows, or if it's whatever, stylists that have had to work with him, different companies that have been on the show. All the resounding facts is that Kody is not pious in person. In fact, he's outwardly arrogant, egotistical, and extremely flirtatious, and constantly on the prowl. And that this notion that Kody is not always out on the hunt and he's not always like scoping for new women is completely false. Someone was talking to me about how they were doing work with them for advocacy. It was, you know, when the oldest kids went down and they went to help. Yeah, he's super sleazy. You know how when they went down to help the kids at holding out help and they were painting the walls, and then Kody brought the kids in and they were going to like have the kids come down to Vegas. Remember that? Um, y'all remember that? Like, I think it was Madison and Aspen and Logan. So basically what they said was, while all of this was going on, he was super inappropriate. Like, he was flirting with the women that were advocates helping victims. And he was like, the people that were like on set said that they were like uncomfortable with Kody taking the kids that they were helping get out of polygamy. Like, they didn't want Kody to spend any alone time with those girls. They were concerned that because some of the girls were like 18, 19 years old, that Kody would get flirtatious and make some of the girls feel uncomfortable. And so one of the things that they were going to do was they were going to, I think they wanted to like take them out somewhere out in Vegas, and the people intervened and they prevented it from happening. And they were like, you can spend time with these kids, but you cannot do this. So they weren't, I don't know if they wanted to take them out like walking on the strip or something like that. And they said, you can go out for ice cream and the kids can like come to your house. But beyond that, you are not going to take these kids anywhere. There was like actual concern about some of the kids getting triggered by walking back into a polygamous family. And I don't know if you recall, but Colleen Snow, she's from the Kingstons, and she was on some episodes of Escaping Polygamy. She actually was like very closed off. And when she was on the show twice. So she was on that episode where she met the Brown family, and then she came back on the panel. And when she went back on the panel, um, she actually did a video on YouTube, and she was so mad at Christine. I guess Christine treated her terribly. And this was another thing that I was told by some of the advocates that have worked outside of polygamy is like they were all getting ready to film. Christine comes in to say, like, how is everyone? Are you ready to film? Are you nervous? And someone said yes. And they said Christine just like looked at them and said, sucks to be you, and was like really rude. And Colleen called Christine very controlling, super like rude and fake. And then she also called out Robin and said Robin was super rude. She said Mary was actually really nice. And she said Janelle was very sweet too. So I was like, huh. But yeah, she said that Christine was super rude, and fake. And I was like, okay. Now, I don't want to say that everyone I talk to has those opinions of Christine. You know, every single person has different experiences. Christine, when she was in the cult, was very against anyone that was outside that was trying to get people out of the cult. She was very against that. So yeah, she's a normal person. She's also a very, indoctrinated, brainwashed person that's scared of the outside world. I think a lot of her interactions with a lot of these people were based on fear. Hugs to you, Katie. So, thank you for the work you're doing. Okay. So then I was thinking about can you guys hear me if I talk a little bit slower? So anyways, Christine is like a little bit more, I would say, I wonder if I can talk more into my microphone. I would say Christine is a little bit more, she was more reserved, and she was kind of like, she was more reserved, and a little bit more fearful of people. And Robin was like kind of the opposite of that, like very outgoing, but very like full of herself. Yeah. Yeah. So going back to Kody, when they all have the people come in to do their hair. So getting you to understand that Cody's like super flirtatious. When Robin was getting ready, the stylist said to me that Robin was very particular about having her hair done, and that the way that she did her hair, so she spent all this time like doing her hair for this woman, for Robin, curling it, and then Robin just couldn't stand the way that the woman did her hair, and then like brushed her hair out and then curled her hair herself. So if you're ever wondering if like Robin's, the ringlets that she does, that's real. Like she does that herself. But when Robin was getting dressed, the stylist said that Kody was so like overtly sexual with Robin, in earshot of the other women. And so whenever Robin was around, he was like calling her his supermodel wife. And so he would be like, give me one moment. Okay. I'll be right back. Hi guys, sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. I had to like do something. I had to just, multitask. So, so as I was saying, when they were all getting ready for the shoot, the woman did Robin's hair and like did all of the curls, and then Robin ended up like brushing all of the curls out, and she didn't like it. And I guess this happened like multiple times. So this woman came on to set multiple times to help them. They don't have hair and makeup for the show, for the regular show. So, like, I suppose they could if they wanted to pay for it themselves, but like, they don't have anyone that comes in to do their hair and makeup. But they do get it for things like, oh, Addie, you're so cute. They do get it for like the tell-alls, or if they're doing like promos. And but at this event, so all of the other wives have like picked out clothes, right? And when Robin comes out, I don't know what she's wearing. And apparently Kody is like so loud, and he's like, yeah, that's my supermodel wife. Oh, she's so hot. Do you all see my super hot wife, my super hot supermodel wife? And I'm like, did you? And he was doing this in earshot of the other women. And so the woman that did, I'm telling you a bedtime story. So the woman said that he is creepy. And so whenever, like, Kody was not very sensitive, and he was like so enamored with Robin. And like he really, when she came into the family, looked at her as sort of like this pinnacle of his success. And for some reason, he thought she was a model. And you guys, and there's a lot of rumors that she was on that show Just Shoot Me, and that she was featured. That's totally false. The IMBD, whatever that she has, Robin had done no acting. Robin had done no modeling. Robin was not a model. Robin was not an actress. I'll tell you that she was, she left Montana in 2007, and she met Kody in the beginning of 2009, and she was in Utah. So she wasn't modeling. She was literally, someone told me that she was working as like a nurse's aide at like a, I don't know if it was like a rehab facility, like not a rehab facility for drugs and alcohol, but when someone is in the hospital and they go into like the nursing homes after they've gotten out of the hospital, like where they have to do like, they need step down care. Like, I think she was at like a facility like that, not at like a nursing home for like older people, but like, say you have to have hip surgery. And then after you've had your hip surgery, you might need to go to this facility for physical rehab facility. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you. Yes. Physical rehab facility, something like that. Like a rehab hospital or something like that. I don't know if that was it. Yeah. But you stay there. Maybe she was a receptionist, whether it was a receptionist or it was like a nurse's aide. She wasn't a nurse. She might have been a cleaner. I'm not sure, but that's what she was doing. And she apparently was not she didn't like to work. When she and Preston were married, You're loving the new background. Well, thank you. I haven't finished. It's literally just 2 tables with some candles on it. Yeah, anyways. So, but for some reason, Kody thought she was like the bee's knees. And I guess a bunch of the guys in the cult wanted to be with her too. I don't know. It's wild because she had so much debt. She doesn't like to work. She really doesn't like to work. She's like so lazy. She didn't work when she was with Preston. So she did graduate from high school, but I don't think she went to any college or anything like that. So anyways, I do need some plants. I would, but my cats will eat them. I wish. She only works on her back. Okay, you guys, but that was her job. So when she came into the family, her job was to be the kitten, the new fresh meat. So anyways, Kody was smitten with her, and he basically just abandoned all of the wives right away for her. And I think it's really weird because, I was watching, and I don't want to offend anyone that likes Christine or Janelle. And I always have to share this kind of stuff with almost trepidation, because I feel like if I ever say anything positively, not 100% positive about Christine or about Janelle, I end up getting like so much negativity. But something they said recently in their interviews when they were going on that interview spree. Sorry, I need a sip of water. Thank you for your super sticker. And if I've been missing your super chats, thank you to everyone. Anyways, back to my story. I don't think that Robin was her idea. I just think that the women in this culture, it's their job to like bring in more wives so that their husbands can be more holy and be more godly. And so she was likely just fulfilling her duty as the first wife. And every wife that's married has to fulfill what's called the law of Sarah, which means that they have to like find a new wife and more women for the kingdom. And so as a way to appease the husband, bringing in new toys for the men to play with is what the women do. It's just that's what their job is. So anyways, what was I saying? Oh, so this past year, there was a spree of, what do you call them? Interviews where Janelle and Christine were going on the interview circuit, and they were just so fake because they kept saying that people love the show because of how real and authentic they are. And they have been lying for the entire time the show has been on. Literally. There's been nothing real or authentic about anything that's been on the show, other than maybe the last few years when the wives just finally had enough and stopped pretending. But the family wasn't operating as a family for a very long time. And so when they were saying that like they were being authentic and real, they weren't being authentic or real. Kody was never at their house. He was always with Robin. When I think I told you guys about this a while back, but so there was a friend of the Browns that they've known for decades, and Kody went out to lunch with his friend and his wife. And I've already told you about how Kody was like totally enamored with Robin in the bedroom. But it was like, it was such such a fix for him that that's all he wanted was to be with Robin. And he was always at Robin's house. He was never with the other wives. He was only there to film, and then he went right back to Robin's. And even before the show, something that this person told me that I think maybe it'll help clear up some of these, dispel some of these rumors that the family was perfect before Robin is totally false. So the friend said that like back when they were in Wyoming, they were really, really poor. And Kody was always gone. He was like working 60 hours a week and he was never around. What is your favorite reality TV show since you watched Sister Wives for us? Okay, so I'll answer this. I'll get back to my story, I guess. But so I'm actually not a huge reality show fan, but because now I feel like I've learned too much about how the reality TV works. I particularly enjoy documentaries and docuseries. And so I'm a big like Netflix person. So I like to find like the true crime docuseries, or I like to watch anything on polygamy, like for real. You could ask Ellen. Just ask Ellen in chat how much of my day is consumed by polygamy. So much. I read so many books. I read old literature, old sermons. This isn't true. When you see those things that are on those fan sites, those aren't true. Yeah, like true crime. Yeah. So Ellen's from the AUB. She's not in the AUB anymore, but she's been deconstructing her time. And I feel like she's deconstructing with me because she's always like going through stuff. And her dad is writing a book right now. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for his book. I can't tell you who Ellen is and I can't tell you who her dad is, but I'm excited for his book to come out. And so she'll send me excerpts of her dad's book. And actually, Kristen was telling me about his book today, too, because I was on the phone with Kristen. And so I spend a lot of my time with, oh, yes, I like Trafficked. Yes. This was a really good documentary. That one, it's on National Geographic. Yep, I watched that where they do the different animals and the different foods. And yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. So Hulu isn't, yeah, I watch a lot of Hulu, Netflix. But I spent a lot of time on polygamy. So much so that now that I'm watching Secrets of Polygamy, or if I watch any documentaries that are actually made, I feel like I almost know more about the story than's being shared. Oh, thanks, Ellen. Ellen's had a tough upbringing, man. So I feel like we're all kindred spirits. Oh, you guys are so cute. Oh, Mary said she's writing one. Yeah, I don't know if any of the women are ready for writing a book. Whoops, hold on. So one of the things so what was the story I was telling you about after I answered my question? But okay, so if I'm going to be like into the sleazy stuff, I did watch all of the seasons of Vanderpump Rules after Scandival, but I watched one episode of Vanderpump Rules this year and then I was bored and I stopped watching. So true crime is my day job and reality TV is after fun work. Yeah. There's so many different books you could read on polygamy. Obviously, Kristen Decker's book, 50 Years in Polygamy. Rebecca Musser wrote The Witness Wore Red. Carolyn Jessup wrote a book. She was married to Merlin Jessup. Was that his name? I can't remember. One of the Jessup men. There's Anna LeBaron's The Prophet's Daughter, which is about Ervil LeBaron. There are so many books. Those are the best three. Yeah. The Witness Wore Red by Rebecca Musser. So Rebecca Musser was married to Rulin Ulred, or Rulin, not Allred, Rulin Jeffs. She was like 20 years old and he was like 80. And she was like one of the last wives he acquired. And when Rulin died, she was supposed to be taken in by Warren. And she became a star witness in Warren's case. And her book is phenomenal. Vanderpump Rules. Yeah. I was like, I'm kind of bored because everyone keeps leaving the show. Robin's kid's dad will never talk. He will never talk. I did reach out to his wife, Jen, when I was asking about sharing the GoFundMe. And I had been very reluctant to share the GoFundMe. But I noticed it wasn't doing very well and he's still sick. And so I reached out to her and I asked her if I could share it. And she said that was fine. And I know I had previously said that I was going to respect the family's privacy. So I literally reached out to her before I did it. I think he signed an NDA. I personally think he has signed one. I don't know that for a fact, but I believe there could be an NDA in here. So yeah, you've been here since I've had 137. Wow. Okay, I'm sorry. Anna's is the polygamous daughter. I'm sorry. Okay, you know what? I'm going to look. I'll show you. I'll tell you what I have on my Kindle. Okay. These are some of the books that I have on my Kindle. Which is funny because when I pulled up my Kindle, guess what's on there? Becoming Sister Wives. It's Kody Brown's, New York Times best-selling book. Anyways. So The Polygamous Daughter. Sorry. Yeah, that's Anna LeBaron. I actually listened to this one on Audible because she was the one who read it. 50 Years in Polygamy, which is by Kristen Decker. That's available on Kindle. It's also, you can buy it on Amazon. For people that are coming out of cults that might want to learn more about the cult structure or about recovery and sort of what kind of mind control you've been under, or if you have someone that's in a cult and you want to understand what they're going through, a really good book is called Take Back Your Life, Recovering from Cults. And it's by Janja Lalich, Dr. Lalich. She's been in a lot of different cult documentaries. That book is awesome. This book is a little bit more, I would say it's a self-published book, but if you want sort of like the unedited raw about if I was toasted, would you be mad at me? No, I'm not toasted. I wish. Haha. So yeah, Take Back Your Life is a good one for cults if you're coming out of a cult. Oh, I got distracted. Oh, if you want a book that's a little bit more raw, it's not professionally edited. It was self-published. It's called Born in Polygamy, and it's by Rebecca Kimball. Her mom was Rulin Allred's sister, and her dad was one of the guys that went to prison with Rulin Allred. But Rebecca's stories are insane. She has stories about Rulon Allred just dumping his kids off at her house with her mom and like having no food in their pantries. That book was like one of the most eye-opening books I have ever read. Let's see. The Witness Wore Red. I already said that. I have a bunch on Audible that I haven't gotten to yet. Let me check my Audible library. I downloaded a bunch on Audible that are still on my to listen to. Escape. That's the book by Carolyn Jessup. So there's Escape by Carolyn Jessup, Stolen Innocence by Elisa Wall. Elisa Wall was the woman that took Warren Jeffs. She was the girl that was the first one that testified against him. It was the first case that he was arrested for. Her book is called Stolen Innocence. So those are like the ones that I have on tap that I haven't gotten to yet. And I don't know if you guys were into Nexium, if you followed the whole Nexium story, but India Oxenberg, she did a audiobook called Still Learning. It was about her journey out of Nexium. And I like devoured that so fast. India is she's so amazing. It's so funny. I started Spare by what's his face? Prince Harry, and I never finished it. I got bored. And I listened to The Woman in Me, Britney Spears. I loved it. Michelle Williams did the narration for it. And oh my God, Michelle Williams got Britney's emotions so good. That was such a good book. Yeah. Oh, and Breaking Free. That's by Rachel Jeffs. That's another one. That's Warren Jeffs' daughter. She's Rachel Blackmore now. Yeah. I do a lot. I listen to a lot of audiobooks now. Twin Flames. That was a good one. Thank you. The Nexium one was bizarre, weren't they? Yeah. So I don't know what this means. Yeah. So anyways, Maple Grove. Those are some of the books that are either in my library or that I've been listening to on audiobooks. Yeah. Catherine Oxenberg is India's mom. Yeah. So fun story about India. She actually, I don't know if she still follows me, but we were following each other for a while. And when her podcast came out, I had the opportunity to kind of chat with her and talk with her about her journey out. And she has become so vocal now. It's been pretty incredible to watch her journey out. And I actually was reaching out to her to kind of ask some questions for a family that has a daughter that's kind of stuck in a situation, and what would she recommend and what can the family do? And yeah, she was pretty helpful. Yeah. I can't list anything right now because I'm online. So I'm sorry. I'm sure if you go back through the transcripts, you'll be able to find the books. Okay. Okay. So very long time ago, you could probably search my archives. I did an interview with Melissa Hansen, who is actually from the Kingston group. And Melissa's dad is one of the attorneys for the Kingstons. And she explained to me that it was not real. It doesn't mean that the people didn't leave, but a lot of it was staged because they had already left. Or like, for instance, they did an escape of a woman that had already left 7 years ago or something like that. I think that's what Melissa said. And then, here's another example. I don't know if you remember, there was a girl named Martha that was on there. She was from the FLDS. She is not alive anymore. She actually died from an overdose, like maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. But Martha's mom, or one of her sisters, I can't remember, reached out to me because I put a post up on my Instagram, and I said, rest in peace, Martha, because I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but Christine and Janelle and Mary are making it look easy to leave polygamy, and it's not. A lot of people that leave polygamy deal with severe mental health issues, trauma. Many end up not understanding how to cope, having never been dealt with like the real world and having no boundaries, having their whole life told what to do, and then being in a world where there's no rules. It's very easy for them to end up in substance abuse issues. They can end up in addiction with drugs. They can be homeless because they don't have proper education. They're dealing with trauma. They're dealing with stalking because their family members are trying to get them back into the cult. And because it's hard for them to assimilate back into the world, and they've been told their whole life that they are going to go to hell and that everything out here is scary, and they were never given the skills to live out in this world. Coming into this world is very overwhelming. And there's a high rate of suicide, unfortunately. And they've been dealing a lot of that right now, like increased from former members of the FLDS right now. I think someone told me there was like 6 or something in the last several months. And, but yeah, so even with like Christine jumping into a new marriage, I'm not frozen. If you are frozen, you just want to refresh, just refresh. But I'm definitely not frozen. So yeah, there's been a lot of people dying by suicide. And so there's been an increased need for proper mental health care. And it's funny that you would say that you see a lot of red flags for Mary. I was recently talking to an advocate that helps women leave, and they said that they're worried about Mary too, particularly with her choice of boyfriend. There's a lot of red flags, I guess, with the boyfriend. And women that leave this culture, it's very easy for them to walk back into a relationship with a narcissistic abuser, because that's what they've been groomed to accept their whole life. They don't have the understanding of what proper boundaries are in a marriage or in a relationship. And so it's very easy for them to fall into a habit where they end up with someone just like their ex. And so if you don't get therapy and you don't unpack that trauma, it's very easy to just rebound into. And because from the time that they're born until they're, in time they get married, they're told their whole lives that they cannot be alone. One thing that Kristen has told me, same with Emily, same with Ellen, is that from the time that they're born, they're told that they cannot survive without a man. And being, yeah. So, it's just, there's a lot of like red flags that and even Kristen Decker, she ended up marrying a man that she was with for 15 years. But before that, when she first got out, she ended up with a guy that was super abusive. And it was really, really, really hard for her to leave because she felt so ashamed. And she has, she's privately supporting them and she's not going to say anything negative. I just think a lot of people are worried. And people have been worried about not just Mary, but also Christine, because Christine rebounded very quickly and is now married very quickly and didn't have a lot of time to recover from that. And I know people said that she was single for a long time, but I always have to try to remind people that you and I cannot compare what we are like because we are not in a cult. And we have not had our whole life been programmed to think a certain type of way. And it's really hard to leave that mindset when you've been told your whole life that you're supposed to be with a man and you cannot be single. Someone I was talking to today actually said that they felt like Mary introducing her new boyfriend almost felt a little bit, women are so groomed for jealousy and they're so groomed for competitiveness that they almost felt like it was a little bit of competition on Mary's part to say, oh, look, I'm not a bad person. Look, I can have a boyfriend too. Look at me. They were talking about how they were watching the live stream and they felt like secondhand embarrassment because they know Mary personally. And it just felt very awkward and very showy for Mary. They also said that Mary's had a very, 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 Mary came from a very abusive house. Her dad was a very abusive man. And yeah. So yeah, she came from a very abusive home. And they just said that having known Mary personally, they just worry about her because she was sort of the most ride or die for Kody of all of the women. And does Norma, from Big Love? I don't know. Big Love they took actual scenarios from all the different groups, and a lot of the situations that take place in that family are just stereotypes of what happens in most families. So I'm not frozen. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Cami. Okay, I'm sorry. Can you do a shout out for my daughter, Harper? We adopted her 3 years ago and she's going to be 12 next week and missed. She says, you're beautiful. Happy to see you. Hi, Harper. Thank you for the super chat, Laura. Hey, Harper. Happy early birthday. I hope you have a wonderful day. My son will be 12 next year. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hi, Harper. I love your channel. You do amazing work, deep dives, and I'm curious. Oh, I already answered that question. And I said this one, you're doing great. And I love you calling out the crazy and the cult is known as Sisterwise. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you. Oh, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for calling me looking amazing. Oh, Angie, thank you for upgrading your membership. Mimi, thank you for upgrading your membership. Oh, KOC, thank you for becoming a member. Selena, thank you for becoming a member. Addie, oh my gosh, you guys, Addie used to be one of my Addie used to be like back in the old days. I love Addie. She's so cute. Thank you, Kimberly, for becoming a member. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you, Pammy. Okay, I think I got everyone. Okay. I think I got all of them. Hey, Harper. I enjoyed seeing you in another chat. Sometimes, okay, so I'm not the kind of person that jumps around to people's different live chats, but obviously having the week that I've had, just going through my own stuff, um, I've just had to like keep tabs on, what's been happening. And I've been really worried about this woman. I know it's irrelevant for my channel, but I don't know. She was a subscriber of mine, and when someone's getting hurt, I just take things so personally and I get so emotional about it. And it's been making me feel very emotional about what I shared this week. And a lot of people were like upset and said that I was bringing my drama to the channel. And I was like, not trying to bring my drama to the channel. I was just trying to say to you guys, like, I'm really upset about what's happening to my subscriber. And it made me really sad. And all week I've just been super emotional about it. And so I've been going to channels that are kind of talking about what's been happening to her to sort of keep abreast of the chaos. And it's been just like overwhelming. But I've found these like super tiny channels that are so cute. Definitely not my style in terms of like, I forgot, like, I don't watch a lot of call out YouTubers, you know what I mean? Like, so like there's like YouTubers that they like just watch someone else's content and then they like watch 20 seconds and then they just like respond. They kind of do what I do, but they do it live, but they do it so differently. Like, I don't swear on my channel. And so it can be kind of jarring when I'm like watching someone and they're just like cursing and I'm like, and you guys, I have to tell you a secret. I don't curse because my son has autism and my son is like very fixated on swear words. And so if you swear, he will point out a swear word. And so I have just gotten into the habit over the years of just like not swearing. So I honestly don't even really swear in my private life unless I'm like super mad. So it can be like so jarring to me sometimes to watch these call out channels. And it's like, I forgot you can actually swear on this platform because I don't really do that. So yeah. And it's always so funny. Thanks. I get really sensitive when people that are survivors from cults. And then, it's just been, I don't know, there's just all these misconceptions that I like watch all these videos and I really don't. And it's just been stressful because I don't know, I kept it in for such a long time and it felt very vulnerable to put that out there. And I felt very exposed doing that, I guess. I've been so emotional about it. I also have ADHD, so it could be that coming from someone who has told you so much crap and wondered if I talk too much because you're so private, I'm proud of you for your vulnerability. Thanks. I don't share a lot about my personal life just because it's just not relevant to this channel. So, but that wasn't really about my personal life. And honestly, I don't really care about the channels that like, you could tell I was out of my comfort zone. I was. And I was like, oh my gosh. I told people to go watch the channel. It's a super, super tiny channel, but whatever. And then I was like, oh my gosh, but if I recommend this channel and they start swearing, are my followers going to get mad at me because I recommended a channel that swears? I'm so stupid. Yeah, I have ADHD and OCD too. So, I have a tendency to be either overly, I will share too much or I don't share anything. And I'm also very good at compartmentalizing and like keeping things inside. And so, yeah, I've just been sort of like staying fixated on the content that I make and working on that and sort of not listening to this noise that's happening out here. And, even before I started this video today, people were like, oh, you're going to address these videos that this creator made. And I'm like, no, I'm not, because I've already shared what I thought about it on Instagram. And I think if anyone is going to defend the people that are doing this and make me look like the bad person, I don't want to hear what they have to say, because they're getting it wrong. And then, so getting back to what I was telling you about how I had a really good conversation with some advocates, and they reminded me that because of the work I do and because I'm exposing polygamists, that polygamists are notorious for using social media groups to harass and try to smear the people that they're in, that they're that are speaking the truth about their group. And I was actually talking to Ellen, and Ellen was telling me, and another person that was actually in all these different Facebook groups, and they said that there's a lot of like ex-polygamists or family members of polygamists, or people that are so moved by sister wives that they believe polygamy is good. So they don't like me because I am anti-polygamy, and they might not like me for other reasons. I mean, I've also noticed that I might be too liberal for some people, especially the very fundamentalists. Some of them don't like me, whatever. And then I also found out that inside this group of haters is a lot of Duggar huggers. And it should have been so obvious to me that it was filled with Duggar huggers because of all of the conspiracies, because the Duggar huggers are like conspiracy, like tinfoil hat wearing fools that, I mean, do you guys know anything about some of the crap the IBLP people and the conspiracy things that these people believe? It is wild. I'm anti-polygamy. It's terrible for women. Same, Duggar hugger. Yeah. So I just realized when I thought about who the audience was, and I realized who these people are and what they stand for and what they believe in, I was like, you know what? It is okay if they don't like me. Obviously, they don't like me because they feel like I'm standing against what they believe. And if I don't believe what they believe, we're never going to like come in the middle. I'm never going to like stop what I'm doing. And I guess thanks for the free publicity, and if other creators want to make videos about me, like I've always said in the past, it's none of my business. And I'm never going to respond to emails where someone is trying to paint someone that's being harasser as being the victim. And then I'm also not going to be accused of, because I'm finally responding, victimizing other people, when other people spent better parts of 2 years trying to destroy my channel. I think if I could only, I said I wasn't going to address any of those videos or whatever, but I did want to say something, and I want to be extremely clear, is that I never asked Kody from Down the Rabbit Hole at Night to delete her channel. I never asked her to remove all of her videos. I asked her to stop talking about me negatively. And I asked her to remove any of her content that was using my name and likeness or my photos or images in a negative way. And I encouraged her to make content on sister wives or the Duggars or whatever else. So I tried to be super kind about it. But I also wanted her to know that there are consequences for her actions. And I don't even know what does this mean? You gifted me 5 memberships. Does that mean that I can give out memberships to people? Is that how that works? And I'm a Duggar. No, you're not. Maria, you are not. I don't even know how to do these. Okay. Thank you for the gift of memberships. I don't even know what to do with those. I just want to say that I love Scarlett. Just tell Scarlett I love you. You've been my moderator since the very beginning. Okay. It means that 5 people were given free Oh, that's so sweet. Addie, you're so cute. Addie is 6 months. Thank you so much. I've been wanting to be a member for so long, but I can't afford it. Oh, Addie. I didn't even know how to do that. How do you do that? That's so cute. I consider myself very conservative, and I like you and I watch you all the time. Yeah. I try not to bring my politics onto the page, although sometimes I do. Sorry. Okay. But one thing that is kind of bothered me was that she said that I doxed her, and I didn't dox her. Because Kody was running Facebook pages on Facebook using her real name that were about me. And she was active in Facebook pages, and she actually created a Facebook page to try to compete with me to take content from me. And when she said I doxed her and I doxed her family, I was like, you're just throwing out accusations to try to deflect from what you did. And I don't know her husband's name. I don't know her kids' names. Her name is in groups. Like today, just to give you an understanding of like what she was doing, I got a message from someone. Oh my God, my son took all these pictures. Hold on, I need to see if I can find it. I wonder if it's in my photos. Okay, I'm just going to see. How do I do this? How do I actually bring something in? Present. Share screen. Window, this one. Can you guys see up? I don't think I'm in there. Am I up in there? Can you guys hear me? Why can't I see it? Can you guys see that? Okay, can you see that now? Can you hear me? Can you guys see that? Okay. So this is her in a Facebook group. That's a Facebook group about me. So she's in a hate group. That's her picture. That's a group that's like blocked by Katie Joy. That's her. And she is admitting to contacting an advocacy group about me. She said, an advocacy group has reached out to me asking for proof that Katie Joy Paulson is inappropriate for them to work with. I would love advice and links about what data I should provide with them. I'm specifically looking for letters written several years ago from other advocacy groups asking Katie to please stop what she was doing in the world of advocacy. That never happened. And they would also like to specifically information about what Katie Joy did with the Shiny Happy People documentary. If you have any screenshots or anything you think would be helpful, please send it to me. So that was her in a Facebook group trying to stop and the group and the advocacy group that she's talking about, they didn't just reach out to her. It was Holding Out Help. And I only know because I reached out to Holding Out Help to find out today. And she was contacting Holding Out Help to tell them not to work with me and to verify if the fundraiser that I was posting on my Instagram was real. And so when that all happened, I got all these messages from Tanya, and then Tanya had to ask me if it was okay if she could publicly share that I donated $2,500. And yeah, like, I'm not working for Holding Out Help. I literally just posted a fundraising email and I asked people to donate. Like, it wasn't like, I don't know. Like, it's weird that people would think that like you're encouraging people to donate to a nonprofit means that you're working for them. But yeah, that was her actually in a Facebook group using her real name. And so this idea that she is being doxxed by me is ridiculous. Oh, I want to show you this one too. Hold on. So this is another one of her. This is a group that she created. This is a public group, and it's a Down the Rabbit Hole public group, which is all about what do you call it? True crime. I know, right? I told her not to work with you. Now I need proof. Yeah, I was just, so much information was sent to me, and it was just a lot of I couldn't believe what was going on behind the scenes. And the thing is, she was accusing me of doing all of that. And I didn't even know what her name was until last week. I don't know. I think she likes polygamy and she likes cults. I guess I found out that someone told me that she hates Mike Rinder, who's like trying to help people in Scientology. She gets mad about that, which I think is just strange. Like, why would you get mad at Mike Rinder? Right? Like, Mike Rinder, he's like doing good things for Scientology. Why would you get mad about that? Okay, let me see if I have something else I can share. How do I do this again? You have the same obsession. I'm obsessed with true crime and polygamy. Okay. Yes, so that's the group she started. I guess she started it with like Brenda Collier and I don't know, someone else. I think Brenda's like the country, but that's her group. And then there she is in the group as her person. So again, it's just very disingenuous to say that I doxed you when you're all over Instagram in groups that are hate groups that are about me. Yeah. You said I started my channel because of you and I just got monetized. Yay! Good job. Good luck. There's room for everyone. Give Reality Guru a shout out. Oh my goodness. I make some funny thumbnails. Do you ever like look at the thumbnails I make? I'm sorry, but I'm really impressed with my thumbnail today. I learned how to do duo colors. Oh. Oh, all right. I don't even know how long I've been going. Oh my goodness, an hour and a half. I never go live. And then, so the other day I was watching a live stream and it was for 7 hours long. And I was like, I didn't know people could live stream that long. I do know that YouTube haters like McCrae Veda are all nuts and rather unhinged. Yeah, Veda is trying to pass around a weird AI. It's just so stupid. There's a group of 3 or 4 of them that do nothing but trash you. They're bad shit. Yeah, I guess. I mean, thank you for the free publicity. Your weird conspiracies are a little bit over the top. That thumbnail is pretty cool. I'm trying to think if there was a thumbnail that I really... Every once in a while, I'll do a thumbnail that I really like. I want to see if I can find it. I try to find the most ridiculous faces of Robin when I do a thumbnail. Have any of you guys been paying attention to the just onslaught of hateful content about Gypsy Rose Blanchard? I just got like briefly caught up with some of it today because I noticed that Gypsy had deleted a bunch of her stuff on social media. And I reached out to the family just to see what was going on. And I was just like, what is going on? Like, is she okay? And I realized there are so many people trying to retry her crimes in the public. And it's like, I don't know why even creators like Swoop just put out a documentary about her. And I'm like, what are you adding to the conversation right now? Except for assumptions and speculation. You're not adding any new dialogue. The court case was already determined. She was already sentenced. She's done her time. She's on parole. You know, why is relitigating this publicly helpful? And what is it help? How does it help her when you're monetizing your content about her, speculating about her, diagnosing things about her? You know, I've watched quite a bit of Swoop's documentary type content, and I'm very, I don't even know. I don't want to criticize her because I really, I think she has good intentions, but there's times during her live streams where she actually is literally speaking like she is a psychologist and she diagnoses people. And it's very odd to me because as far as I can tell, she's not a psychologist. She's not a mental health provider. And she speaks with authority about psychological stuff, and she will cite documents. So she'll say, oh, this study says this and this study says that, but that doesn't, she'll use that to sort of prove her point, but that's not always what those studies mean. And I understand that I call Kody a narcissist. So I'm probably guilty of some of that too. But there was a part of her video where she starts talking about generational trauma and basically implying that Gypsy is doing things that happened with her husband that her mom did to her. And I'm like, based off a video, based off because she told him to shut up while they were on a live stream. I feel like people are just overloaded with the fact that she got so many followers. And I feel like some people are angry that she got that many followers. And I think some people feel like, but calling him a narcissist is a fact. I mean, yeah. I don't like her take on this one. Yeah, I don't like her take either. I actually haven't liked her take on several of her most recent videos. I think she makes mountains out of molehills. I don't think we needed there was one issue that she made into like 5 parts. And I was like, we do not need 5 parts or 3 hours on this topic. It's really not that deep. And I also don't like that she calls and labels people dangerous when no crimes have been committed. To the best of our knowledge, they haven't been arrested. It's just her opinion that they're dangerous. I feel like that kind of narrative can cause damage to people because it's your opinion that what you think about that person is dangerous, but that might not be the reality of that person. And if you're just looking at whatever that opinion is, I don't know. Yeah. Again, I don't hate Swoop. I just didn't particularly enjoy her take on that one. Yeah, I mean, I have an opinion too, but I'm like labeling actually people that are dangerous as dangerous. Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. He is a narcissist. Yeah, I don't know. Like, and I know she gets a lot of views, and I'm really, it's been awesome to see her have some great success on this platform. Frankly, some of the content that she does, I think she has really good takes, but I just did not like her take on Gypsy, and I didn't even watch the whole thing. And just knowing the family and knowing what they've been through and knowing the people that people are quoting as experts and using them as sources, you're just going to make me lose all lack of. She was sourcing a person that should never be sourced, like literally ever. And people are sourcing people that have been harassing Gypsy and the family for years. And they're using like Gypsy's old prison friend as like proof that Gypsy's a horrible person. Like I watched a channel talk about how Gypsy's prison friend is mad that Gypsy ghosted her. I contacted them today and I said, can I just ask a question? Does Gypsy have stipulations in her probation that she cannot talk to or associate with a felon? And they said, yes. Gypsy cannot talk to her friend from prison because she cannot associate with anyone that has a felony, anyone that's either incarcerated, anyone that she was recently incarcerated with, or anyone else that's on parole. So and then this friend from prison was using Gypsy's name for clout and like attention. And I think Gypsy has a right to determine who she wants to have in her life and who she doesn't want to have in her life. And she cannot have contact with people that are felons. She cannot have contact with people that are on probation. She cannot have contact with people that are still in prison. She also cannot have contact with Nicholas Godejohn. So asking her to advocate for Nicholas would violate her probation and her parole. She can't speak to Nick. She can't advocate for Nick. So yeah. I did actually, I can't remember which one of Swoop's. Did Swoop do one on Colleen Ballinger? I actually think I like the one she did on Colleen Ballinger. She did one on Illuminati. And I was like, do we really need this many videos on Illuminati? The Browns are 2 hours away from me. Oh, stay away. He might try to make out with you. Yeah, so she can't talk to her person from this. And then they're all quoting this woman that's literally been harassing them for a long time. Yeah, I liked her videos on Colleen, although I didn't feel like we needed that many videos on Colleen. And I really didn't like that she did the whole video series on her friend Johnny or whatever. That just felt like very weird to me. Like, I don't need a video on this random guy named Johnny. I really don't care. Focus on Colleen. I might have to watch the Illuminati. I think okay, if you're going to watch any of hers, watch the one on Colleen Ballinger. I can't remember which one. Just the one on Colleen. I think that's the one. Who is the other guy that does a lot of Colleen stuff? Inappropriate. I think he's funny. Inappropriate. I don't care if Swoop should get all kinds of followers. You know, let her do her thing. I said my only criticism is sometimes she gets all psychological and I don't know what her psychology background is. That's all I was saying. One day I'll get his PQC and I'll have a million hate groups and I'll take it as a compliment. Well, you know, yeah. I don't think I'm not sure that my audience would consume her kind of content because my audience doesn't really pay attention to YouTube drama. Sometimes I fall down like, yeah, Swoop is great. She is. If you like content about YouTube drama, she does a good job. It was hard for me to watch her take on Gypsy because I know them and I've spoken to Gypsy. So like, it's hard for me to like have someone speculate based on what they watch of someone in a video and assume that because Gypsy was like this and her one time saying shut up to her husband on a camera somehow is an indication that she's just like her mom. I mean, I think Gypsy has admitted that she grew up with a mother that manipulated and was doing criminal stuff, and she has had to learn how to live a life in a world on the straight and narrow. But I will say this, that if these people think they're helping by contributing to hate to a woman that's already been victimized and served her time and just wants to acclimate back in society, and if they think they're helping by amplifying harassment against her, they're not. And if they think they're helping her not want to be on social media, I mean, we don't need to relitigate her case. It's already gone through the criminal justice system. I think it's very ridiculous for any of us on YouTube or any of us that are content creators to assume that we know more about the criminal justice system or the prosecutors that did her case. No, I don't mean like YouTube drama. I mean, she focuses on creators that have like downfalls. So I don't cover YouTube creators for the most part. So what I meant by drama is like Illuminati was a YouTube creator and she covered her. Colleen Ballinger was a YouTube channel and she covered her. Like I wouldn't cover Colleen Ballinger on my channel. That's what I meant by sort of like YouTube drama. Like when a YouTuber does bad things, she might make a video on that. I don't mean like she's dramatic. I don't know what you mean there. I don't know what you mean. I actually think she's extremely pretty. I love her wig that she wears. I love her sense of humor. I love her petty university. Oh, Gypsy. So here's the complicated part of Gypsy is that she has a network that's promoting her for a show, and she has obligations, contractual obligations, and they have to fulfill those obligations, and they are the ones that are posting a lot of that content. So it's no one's, if you have an opinion about her doing a show, okay, but like the networks are controlling what they're posting, and she has obligations that she has to fulfill for that due to her contracts. I think if you went onto her Instagram today, you'll notice that she actually deleted almost everything on her Instagram as a way to sort of reorganize her social media. This is all that's on her social media now because she wants her social media to reflect who she is. She doesn't want it to be about what the show wants her to be. She's taking back control of her social media. When she got out, she had to do all of that stuff, like all those weird posts where they were doing those interviews and the get ready with me. That was all Lifetime that was pushing all of that. I personally, my opinion about the way that Lifetime treated her show, I felt was really detrimental to the severity of what the show covered. I felt like the way that they put her out there and the way that they promoted the show trivialized the severity of her crimes and trivialized the severity of her abuse. And I feel that trivializing her and trying to make her look like an influencer made a lot of people respond in a very negative way. And I think a lot of the hate that she's getting right now is directly related to the way that Lifetime did this. Like, Lifetime did not take the care or the concern with how they should treat the severity of the story. Yeah, media crap. She's gonna screw up. She's gonna say things. She's gonna learn. You know, it's gonna be her whole. It's gonna be an experience. But I've expressed my belief with friends of the family about my thoughts about how trivial. I got really turned off myself with the way that they were doing the get ready with me's, the stupid question and answers, the whole like get to know them as a couple. Her show wasn't about that. Her show was about recovering from what she went through. And this isn't what she's going to be doing for her whole life. Okay. Long story short, we love Swoop. I'm not trying to start a beef with Swoop, y'all. I want people to know that when I have an opinion on another creator, if I'm watching another creator, it's generally because I like their content. So I genuinely like Swoop's content. I just have some criticisms, I guess. You know what I'm saying? She's probably one of the only consistent content creators that I will watch that makes content. And I like iNabber. Why I like iNabber. And I like H3, Ethan and Ela. I'm a member of H3, so I'll watch their stuff sometimes. And although I haven't been watching them as much, I'll be honest. You hope I go live more. Swoop is fabulous. Yeah, I like her. She's so pretty. Yeah. Yeah, that's all. So yeah, it felt good to go live. I haven't done this in a long time. And so if you're watching this on the replay, I'm just so sorry. You guys are going to be like, my normal subscribers are going to be like, this is way too long. Katie, why are you doing this? This is just weird. Why do you keep stopping? My subscribers that are watching normal content, they sometimes get so annoyed with my live content because I'm not the same. I'm not as polished. I get easily distracted. Yeah, maybe like once a month. Maybe, yeah. Well, I want to get oh no. I'm deleting that. Nope. Nope. I will never promote her on my channel. Absolutely not. Nope. Sorry. Never gonna promote that girl. Anyways, no. I have way too much personal history and a family that was deeply traumatized by what she did to them, and a little girl's life that was completely upended, and a family and her participation in helping a man raise money on a GoFundMe, which resulted in him kidnapping the daughter. And it was that channel that enabled that kidnapping to happen because she platformed it, and her entire platform grew off of that story, and her fame rose because of that story. And that little girl was kidnapped in New Mexico, and they had to get the U.S. Marshals in, and the dad was caught in Mexico. He was on the run with her for like 3 months. Yes, she was involved with that. And that man is now in prison, and she contributed to so much vitriol with that family. And I know that maybe she's learned, maybe she's grown, but because I got to know that family, it became too personal for me. So having seen the real life ramifications of the damage that happened to that family, and how that little girl got kidnapped and smuggled into Mexico, it was just so, I can't, it's been too hard. I really do. It was horrible what they did to that mother and children. And I don't think a lot of people on YouTube even know that that's what happened, if they just know her now. But yeah, that little girl is back with her mom, and everything that creator was accusing the mom of doing was false. And the dad was actually the one that was put into prison. And yeah, I think he's getting out of prison soon. He was deemed mentally unfit. His parental rights were terminated. He accused the mom of SA, and it was all fake. He made it all up. And he was actually the abuser. I'm not going to say her name on my channel. You'd love to see more lives with me. Well, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I don't know. Many people are upset. I don't know what's going on with Mike Rinder. But she doesn't like Aaron either, that does the Scientology stuff. And she's pro polygamy. And I'm sorry, you're never going to make me ever come down on someone that's a whistleblower. And I don't know what's going on with Mike Rinder, but she doesn't like Aaron, who does his whole channel is on Scientology. She doesn't seem to like anyone that speaks out against cults. And that to me is just so weird. Like, why would you be pro cult? Why would you be pro people staying in abusive situations? What do I know? Yeah. They accused, it was horrible. You'll do good, reality guru. Okay. Aaron, he seems, well, he's a cult survivor, you know? I think Aaron, I don't know what his name is, you guys. I don't know if it's Aaron, if it's Aaron. She says that I mean, he's from a cult. I don't know. All I know is that he's been doing really good work for this group, and she's very critical of him too. I like his videos. I've watched a bunch of his Scientology stuff. So I think anyone that speaks out boldly against Scientology is amazing. And Leah Remini is such an inspiration to so many people. And I love Leah. And if any of you guys watched King of Queens, I will forever be Carrie's, like, Carrie was my favorite. Carrie is one of my favorite characters ever on sitcom television. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for bearing with me. I was so nervous to go live. I had no plans of ever doing this again. And I mean, I didn't have no plans of ever doing this again. Please don't send hate to any of the people that I talked about. And always remember that my opinions are my opinions. And just because I have opinion that might differ than you about a specific person on YouTube, just remember that YouTube is a very big place, and I, like you, am a consumer of content. And so if I have an opinion about a creator, it doesn't mean that I dislike them. I, like you, just like to consume things and make opinions on things. And yeah, I'm not trying to start fights with any creators. I just want to be very clear. I don't like fighting with any channels. Yes, don't forget to hit the like button. Keep going live, says Ellen. Okay. I'll try. I'll probably do them more on the weekends. You stream for 7 hours on Sunday. I could not do that. King of Queens. Okay, but some of the humor today is not as good. Like, it's a little bit racist compared to what things are today. There is some stuff that I'm like, that is such a cringe joke. That is so bad. I should not be laughing at that. That is so bad. Oh, you sent me a message on Instagram. Okay, Lainey, I'll check. We could probably talk. I don't usually respond to a lot of my DMs, but yeah. And if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure to follow me on Instagram. It's at Without a Crystal Paul. And if I've blocked you on Instagram, it's probably for a reason. And if you're blocked on my social media platforms, it's generally for a reason. I don't really block a lot of people on YouTube, but I get a lot of trolling and mean comments sometimes on my Instagram. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Don't send hate again to no one. Please don't send hate to anyone that I talk to. Be very mindful of people. And especially when it comes to Gypsy, you don't have to like her. You don't have to agree with her crimes. Hell, I don't agree with her crimes. I don't believe she should have done what she did. But I'm also not going to shame a woman that has served her time and is trying to rebuild her life. And just be mindful that everyone that is coming out of a cult has trauma, and all of us are fighting battles that none of us know. And I talk a lot of shit. And so people can talk a lot of shit about me. And I understand that sometimes I might come off hypocritical in my criticism because I'm probably doing it too. And so you can say, Kody, you're such a hypocrite. And I'll say, you know, I am. I'm such a hypocrite. I'm such a hypocrite. Of course. Aren't we all a little hypocritical? I love you guys so much. Thank you for making my welcome back into streaming enjoyable. Bye, guys.